97% of men over 50 miss the exact moment a woman starts flirting with them. Not because they're slow, not because they're blind, not because they've lost their touch. It's because the signals changed decades ago and nobody told them. She is not going to grab your arm and giggle like a teenager. She is not going to lock eyes with you and say, "I like you." She's not going to boldly ask you out for drinks. Instead, she's going to ask a question. A soft one, a casual one. One that sounds completely harmless on the surface but quietly cracks a door open. And if you don't walk through that door, it closes again just as quietly as it opened. That's how these moments slip away. You walk off thinking it was just a nice conversation. She walks away thinking, well, I guess he wasn't interested. You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't say the right thing. Because you never realized what she was actually asking. That's exactly what this video is about. These quiet little questions that don't sound romantic at all. They show up disguised as sideways glances, offhand comments, and curious little probes that women use to test the water before they ever decide to jump in. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 8 subtle questions women ask when they're interested but too careful, too respectful, or too unsure to say it outright. You're going to learn what she's really asking underneath the words, why it matters more than you think, and exactly how to answer in a way that proves you're still in the game. Not chasing, not desperate. Just present, grounded, and completely yourself. Here's the truth nobody tells you. After 50, most men don't need to try harder. They just need to notice more. And once you start noticing, you'll see interest where you used to see only politeness. You'll feel warmth where you once assumed it was just small talk. You'll find real, adult attraction in places where you used to believe you'd become invisible. Let's start with the first question. It sounds innocent. It is not. It's one of the biggest tests she will ever quietly place in front of you. How old are you really? It sounds playful, almost light. But when a woman looks you dead in the eye and adds that one small word, really she is not asking for a number. She is asking for something far deeper. She already knows you're not 30. She isn't playing a guessing game for fun. What she's actually doing is checking how comfortable you are inside your own skin. She wants to know if you carry your age like a weight dragging you down, or like a badge you wear with quiet pride. And the way you answer tells her everything she needs to know. If you flinch, if you dodge, if you turn it into a joke about getting old, she might smile. She might even laugh. But something shifts behind her eyes. Because what she's looking for was never youth. It's presence. It's confidence. It's the sense that you are still fully alive in your own life. Not apologizing for the years it took to get here. The men who stand out at this stage of life are not the ones trying to look 30 again. They're the ones who've made peace with their own timeline. Men who can say without missing a beat, old enough to know what matters, young enough to still enjoy the ride, or with a slow grin, you want my age or my attitude? I once talked to a man named Richard, 64 years old, divorced, silver hair, sharp dresser. He told me about a night at a downtown jazz bar. The woman across from him was maybe late 40s. Sharp, elegant, clearly locked in on the conversation. After some easy back and forth, she leaned in close and asked, "So how old are you really?" Richard thought he was being clever. He said, "Too old for you?" She laughed, but not the laugh he was hoping for. He told me he felt the spark dim almost instantly. Later that night it hit him. He hadn't just dodged a question. He dodged the moment. That's exactly what most men miss. These questions are never interviews. They're invitations. And when you answer with self-doubt or self-mockery, she hears that message loud and clear. Underneath all of this is something simple. As we get older, we carry more history, more scars, more quiet fear about whether we're still seen. Women feel that energy radiating off of you. And when they ask something like this, they're not curious about your age at all. They're curious about your aliveness. So the next time a woman asks how old you really are, don't reach for the punchline. Don't treat it like a trap. Treat it like a door. Because if she's asking, she's already thinking maybe. And your answer decides whether that door stays open or swings shut for good. Here's another question that catches a lot of men completely off guard. Why aren't you married? At first it can sound personal. Maybe even a little judgmental. But when a woman asks this with a soft tone and real curiosity, it is not an interrogation. It is interest wrapped carefully in caution. She isn't digging through your past just to collect stories. What she's actually asking is, are you emotionally available right now? Is there room in your life for someone like me? This is exactly where good men trip up. Some launch straight into their full romantic history. The divorce, the heartbreak, the disappointment. Others get defensive and wave it off with a bitter laugh. Marriage? Tried it once. Never again. Both answers do the exact same damage. They quietly slam the window she just opened. She isn't looking for a full explanation. She's listening to how you carry the answer, whether you've made peace with your past, or you're still dragging it behind you like luggage you never bothered to unpack. A better response is simple, steady, and honest without turning heavy. Something like, life kept me busy, but I've got space now for something real. Or, I just haven't met the right woman yet. Maybe until now. I remember a man named Gerald. 67, quiet, worked with his hands his whole life, widowed young. He told me about a woman he met at a community garden. They started talking about tomatoes, of all things. After a while, she smiled and asked, "So how come a man like you isn't married?" He froze. He gave a stiff, rehearsed answer about things not working out, then quickly changed the subject. A week later, she stopped coming to the garden. Later, he told me, "I didn't realize she was asking because she was thinking about us. I thought she was just being polite." That's the pattern. These moments never announce themselves. They arrive quietly, disguised as casual questions, and you only understand them after she's already gone. Psychologically, this is powerful stuff. She is feeling something, but she will not risk being vulnerable unless you show her it's safe to. If your answer sounds bitter or closed off, she steps back immediately. If it sounds calm, open and warm, like a man who has done the work and is finally ready for something new, it tells her everything. So when someone asks why you're not married, don't give her a reason to regret asking. Give her a reason to wonder what could come next. Another question that shows up often is this one. Do you date younger women? This one throws a lot of men off balance. Some hear it as a compliment. Others treat it like a landmine. But when a woman asks this, she is not asking about your dating history. She is quietly checking your openness. What she's really asking is, could you see someone like me as more than just a friend? Most of the time, she isn't looking for a simple yes or no. She's listening for whether you make her feel seen and respected, not silently compared to some imaginary lineup of younger women. She wants to know if the connection happening right now, between the two of you, matters more to you than a number on a calendar. Here's where men mess it up predictably. Some puff their chest, out and brag about younger dates like they're trying to prove something. Others shut it down fast. I'm way too old for you, cutting off the possibility before she's even finished her sentence. Both responses completely miss the point, because what she's really asking is, do I have a chance? A better answer keeps the focus on connection, not age. Something like, I don't date by age. I date by energy and how we connect, or I care more about how a woman makes me feel than when she was born. I knew a man named Marcus, 59, sharp-dressed, quick with a joke. He met a woman at his favorite bookstore. She was in her mid-40s, bright-eyed, asked him for a recommendation. They talked, laughed, grabbed coffee nearby. Then she leaned back and asked, "Do you usually date younger women?" He paused, smiled, and said, "I like women who bring good energy. Younger or older doesn't matter much to me. What matters is that we..." Click, she smiled back, not politely, with real interest. That conversation turned into dinner. Dinner turned into something more. That's the power of presence. Not fumbling when the question isn't really about what it sounds like on the surface. Because when a woman asks this, it's often about permission. She wants to test the possibility without putting herself too far out on a limb. She wants to know you'll meet her halfway and never make her feel foolish for asking. At this stage of life, attraction isn't about clever lines or playing games. It's about responding with clarity, kindness, and just enough spark to keep that door open. And when she asks if you date younger women, that door is already cracked right in front of you. The real question is, do you step through it, or do you let it slip quietly away? This last one might sound like simple small talk, but it never is. What kind of woman do you usually go for? She is not just being curious. She is comparing, weighing, quietly, checking to see if she fits inside the picture you carry around in your head. This isn't about her building some imaginary checklist. It's about her trying to find out if she even has a chance at being that woman. Here's the mistake most men make. They take the question far too literally and start rattling off traits like they're reading a menu. Someone athletic, adventurous, tall brunette, likes golf, enjoys traveling. What they completely fail to notice is that in that exact moment, she is watching closely. She isn't just listening to your words. She's listening to what those words reveal about how you actually see women. She wants to know if you're still chasing some frozen image from your 20s, or if you're genuinely open to a real connection sitting right in front of you. She isn't testing your vocabulary. She is testing your presence.